Hello again, this is Dr. Bennett, and the second video is intended to introduce you to the structure of the course website. We've gone through the syllabus, so you should have a sense of how the course is structured and what kinds of activities you'll be doing. So now I'm going to show you where you need to go to actually do those activities. So as I noted at the beginning of the last video, when you enter the course website, this should be the default home page, the course unit page. We will have the 6 units throughout the course, and I will keep units up after we start new units. So unit 1 is up right now. That's our unit for this week. On Friday, I will put unit 2 up, even though we officially start the activities for unit 2 next week. But unit 1 will remain on this page so that you can still access it if you want to go back and add extra comments to things, or if you just want to go back and refer to materials that we've looked at before. So this is the main page, and we'll go through unit 1 in a little bit, but I would like to show you some of the other features of our course website before we do that. Now, you've seen the syllabus. I've gone through that in great detail. This next link is to course resources, and this is a set of resources that I've compiled to help you with various parts of the course. So when you click on this, I have it divided into 2 folders. One is resources for using the Bible. This contains explanations on how to properly cite the Bible, how to pronounce biblical names and words, and a few other things. So to begin with, there's a link to the online searchable library that I referred to in the syllabus. And you can play around on this site, select the Nobre version, and there are pretty good introductions on that website as to how to use it. The next is a folder with some information on how to properly cite the Bible. And this includes instructions on citing the Bible in MLA format. This will be the format that I will ask you to use whenever you're doing citations for any of your projects, or if you are referring to materials that haven't been assigned for the course in any of our exercises. So you can take a look at that. It gives you the in-text formatting and the reference list formatting. And next is a nice resource, a nice article about the literary structure of the Bible. It tells us a little bit about the basic structure of the Bible and the different types of books in the Bible and the ways in which each of these types of books and each of these sets of books fulfill a particular function. So you should read this. This is something I didn't want to make it a definite assignment because many of you will have already taken a theology class or some other sort of course that has introduced this. But for those of you who haven't, or for those of you who would like a refresher, check out this article. It talks about the different sections of the Old Testament and the different sections of the New Testament, and it's just a nice contextual introduction. After that is the website on pronouncing Bible words, because there are many names and place names in the Bible that are not necessarily easy to pronounce and that we don't know how to pronounce because we do not speak Aramaic or Hebrew or many of the other languages spoken in the Bible. So if there's ever anything that you are curious about as you're reading and as you are doing presentations or preparing for exercises, you can look the words up here. It's organized alphabetically. It's pretty handy. Okay, so those are some resources for using the Bible. Back to course resources, the second folder is dedicated to providing you with resources for being a successful online student. Taking an online course is different from taking a face-to-face course where you have to be at a classroom at particular times, and there's a more clearly defined time structure to teaching a face-to-face course and to taking a face-to-face course. And in preparation for teaching this course, I actually took an online course on teaching online and found that for myself, time management and making sure that the course didn't get pushed to the back burner was one of the one of the key challenges for me. It was a course I was interested in the material, I was motivated to do the work, but I found that I was doing almost everything at the very last minute because other things kept impinging on my time. So in preparing for this course, I compiled this set of resources. There are links, and then there are some things that I have copied and prepared for you on things that make a successful online student, tips for being successful in an online course. Some of these resources I'm borrowing and linking to things that other universities have made available. I've also posted a set of online communication guidelines for this course that outline some of the norms for what I expect for you as you're communicating with me and with one another in the various exercises in this course. And you should read through that. It's all good information. By the way, I do not mind emoticons. In fact, I kind of like them. One of the things that I miss about teaching face-to-face whenever I am teaching an online course is the ability to see people's faces and get a sense of what they're thinking and feeling, the emotion behind the words. And so if you would like to include smiley faces or emojis or whatever you have available that you can get to show up in Blackboard, go right ahead. Especially in discussions, I think that is perfectly fine. So those are some extra course resources. The learning logs will be pasted into an assignment that I've set up at the learning log button. And I talked about the learning logs in the syllabus video. I just wanted to show you where to find this. So you click on learning log, then you click here, and you will be able to create a new entry for each week. So the instructions should show up here all the time, and then each week you will create a new journal entry and paste your notes for the week into this area. There, let me actually show you what it looks like to create a journal entry. So I have a week 2 entry already started there. So I will type week 3, and then you can, what I recommend is that you type up your notes in a Word document or some other word processing document and then paste them into this space here. So paste here. I don't recommend typing right into this this box because sometimes people will be making an entry and then the internet goes or something else happens and then they end up losing what it was that they typed. So type into another document, paste it there, and you can save as a draft or you can post. And you can always go back. I have it set so that you can edit your posts. If you type something and you started something and then you want to go back and add or complete something, that's fine as well. And so it'll, once you post, it'll put the newer entries at the top and the older entries will be at the bottom. So you should be able to see your most recent entries first. One thing that I noted here is please do not upload the files. So if you type into a Word document and you've saved that Word document, there is a space whenever you're making a post, there is a space for you to attach a file. I would prefer that you do not do that because it creates extra steps and it makes it hard for me to go through and read and respond to these entries. So just paste right into the box and that'll just make things easier. So that's the next page in the course. And then we have an announcements page. I don't have anything up there right now, but by the time you're looking at this, I will have something up there for the course introduction. And whenever I post an announcement, I will generally also have an email sent so that you should receive something in your inbox saying that there's an announcement available. And most of the time it should also contain the text of that announcement. But if you ever are trying to look for something that I put into an announcement, you can go back. They'll all be archived right here. So, and then the remaining page is Blackboard help. And if you have any questions about how to do anything on Blackboard or how to find some particular tool that you're looking for, how to send an email using Blackboard, you can visit the Blackboard help page. So that's pretty much it. There's also a grade center where you should be able to click and see anything for the course that has been graded. So you can keep up with how you're doing in the different assignments that way. And actually within the grade center, you should be able to click on your grade and see any the assignment or the exercise and see any comments that I've made on it. So you can, that's where you'll find any feedback that I'm giving you throughout the semester. Okay, so back to course units. Our first unit, Course Introduction and Evaluating Online Sources. This unit includes these 2 videos, which cover the introduction to the course. The unit also gives us an opportunity to get to know one another and introduces an exercise on finding and evaluating online resources, particularly those that have to do with our topic. So when you open a unit, this is basically what you will see. You have the menu on the side, the main menu on the side. You have a table of contents for the unit, and you then work your way through the list of items that are in that table of contents. And if you would like this to be a little bit wider, because the main information, so each piece of a unit will be over here on the far right. So if you would like this all to be a little wider, you can actually hide this menu and then it expands everything else. So here, this is the course welcome with the video introductions, some instructions on playing the videos. So if the thumbnail doesn't show up when you click on these things below, you may need to click on the link. So for instance, this was the syllabus video. Thumbnail's not showing up because the plugins won't play. I'm using Google Chrome right now. Won't play the video directly within the browser, but I can click here and the video will download. And depending on your internet speed, it might take a minute, it might take a few minutes. But you can navigate then onto the next part of this unit, either by pressing one of these arrows or using the table of contents. And the next part is introductions, getting to know each other. And this is a discussion board where you have a set of activities that you need to do. It includes creating a profile for the course. I ask everybody to set up an avatar for themselves so that we have some sense of who everyone is. So this can be an image that you select to represent yourself or a picture of yourself. My avatar is a picture of myself. You can see it up here. And whatever you select for your avatar, your profile image, will show up whenever you are making posts and exercises. And so it's almost like, you know, having a little bit of you there so that you can have a personal presence in the course. This is a link to a tutorial on how to upload this image, where to go to upload the image. And then you need to post in the Personal Introductions discussion board. And there's a link here that you will use to do this. And your post should include your name, your major, and any personal details you care to share, interests, hobbies, goals in life in general, and 3 things that you hope to get out of the course. And then I'm also asking everyone to post some sort of story or event or character in the Bible that you have a question about. These could be things that people did or said that don't quite make sense to you, that you would like to better understand, that you hope taking a course like this will help you to understand. And then you need to interact with at least 2 other students by commenting on their posts. So ideally everybody will do this by Monday evening, as I've noted here. And at some point Monday evening, then you should be able to log in, and Monday or Tuesday, read all of the other posts and then start to interact with some of the other students. And you, these will be graded. You have 5 points toward not the participation, but 5 points toward the unit exercises grade. So I'll show you the discussion board. So I already have my introduction here. You can see this, you can read it a little bit later, but say you wanted to reply to me, you would click reply, and then you can type a very nice to meet you, or whatever it is that you would like to say. But coming back to the discussion forum, and you can see up at the top of the screen, there should be basically a trail of crumbs where you can work your way back to other parts of the page that you visited, so you can get back to the main discussion board. And so what you will want to do is click Create Thread and put your name in the subject line, your name and maybe introduction to your name. And you then add your introduction here. And as with the learning logs, you may want to type your introduction in another document and paste it into here. But definitely paste it into here. There's always that option to attach a file. But I've had students do the attach a file option in the past, and I found that those students never got any responses. Nobody ever interacted with the things that they were saying because everybody would have to open or download the file in order to read what they were saying. So everybody paste into these boxes and don't attach the files. Or if you really want to attach the file, also paste into the box. Anyway, once you have your introduction complete, you click Submit. I'm going to click Cancel. And your entry will show up in this area. Okay, so I would like to come back to course units, back to Unit 1. The next thing that you have to do for this week is to take this. It's basically set up as a quiz, although it's not really a quiz, but I am giving you points for it. And here I want you to address any questions and concerns that you have about taking an online course. And I have a set of questions for you to respond to, 5 short questions. You'll receive 2 points for each question you respond to. And the questions are pretty basic, but it will give me a sense of the level of experience that everyone has with taking online courses, and will give me an idea of what it is that I need to explain better from the syllabus. So I want to know if you've ever taken an online course. If you have any concerns about taking an online course, what are they? What do you hope will be a benefit of having this course online as opposed to face-to-face? And what in the syllabus or course site is confusing or unclear to you? And what about the design of the course or the Blackboard site do you particularly like? And then I can, by the end of the week, address any concerns that anyone has and explain anything that needs to be explained better. And anyway, once you have completed this, then you click, I'm going to type something into here, Save and Submit. And then you will be done with that part. Okay, so back to the first course unit. The next and really the final thing that you have to do for this week is a unit exercise. This is our very first unit exercise 1.1, Evaluating Sources and Materials. And I have all of the information on what you need to do here. So this is the assignment. Read the directions very carefully. I direct you to a guide for evaluating online resources and have identified the set of objectives that I have for this assignment. and then specific instructions step by step for what you need to do and when. So you can take a look at that. And you will do this, again, you should do this in a word processing document on your computer and paste your results into the unit exercise discussion page. So you can open that. And before you get started on the assignment, after you read the instructions, before you start on the assignment, you should take a look at the discussion page, because I've actually posted an example of a review that I did of a website. And so you can see what it looks like. You can see this does not have to be pages long, but you have to address the set of questions that are outlined in the website that I've linked to. And so you can see what a good one looks like. So you'll use the same basic process that I showed you for the personal introductions. You'll create your own thread and make your post. And somehow when I do that, I lose the that table of contents, so I always have to come back here. I have also posted a set of sample websites that you can use. You have to do 2 websites, so you can use one of these, and then you should find one of your own. This one is taking a minute to load, but so the first one that I have listed is christiananswers.net. So basically you would apply, so here's the website, and basically you would apply the set of questions that are outlined in this Berkeley Teaching Library website to analyze christiananswers.net. And so you make your analysis. Here are all of the things that need to go into your 2 posts. You'll do 1 post for each of the websites that you evaluate. And those should be posted by the end of the day on Thursday. And then by the end of the day on Sunday, you should review the posts made by your classmates and respond to at least 3 posts by adding additional comments, supporting or disagreeing with your peers' assessments of the sites. This is actually a really valuable part of the assignment, because sometimes people identify a good website as not so good, or a not so good website as valid, and so you can assess your peers' assessment of a website and get into a good discussion over what makes a website a valid source of information. And anyway, you can take your own time and read through these instructions in more detail, but that is our very first unit, and that is the outline of what we will be doing for the first week of the course. I will, by Friday afternoon, have Unit 2 available. The actual assignments for Unit 2 start on next Monday, January 18th, but I will be making an effort to get things posted by Friday so that if people do want to work ahead over the weekend, you have that option. So that is basically it. If you have any questions, post them in that discussion page with concerns, or put them into your that quiz where you have to talk about your experiences with online courses and your questions and concerns about this course, and then I will compile all of the questions and address them. So I hope you enjoy this this introductory week where we're just kind of getting started, and I hope you're looking forward to next week when we actually really dive into trying to understand the terrain and environment and nature of the life of people who are represented in the Bible. So have a fantastic rest of the day, and again, let me know if you have any questions. Take care.